joined by USC freshman standout Amari Avery, and having the golf bug after the Masters weekend, prepping for this segment was fun. You got a lot of action when I type your name into YouTube and Google, and you come to USC with tons of hype, tons of expectations. In the past few months, you've backed it up in a big way. How's that transition period been for you?
It's been good. I mean, coming to USC, I thought it would be pretty difficult, just coming from being a homeschooled girl, and I never went to school or high school, so I just didn't know what to expect. But coming to USC was a very smooth transition, and obviously playing some pretty good golf is a big bonus.
We got to talk about the last couple of weeks. I mean, probably a whirlwind for you, right? You get to play Augusta. You're out there. You're killing it. You're in the lead at one point. You come back and you guys are playing another tournament. You're flying all over the place. What was that whirlwind like? The emotions of being at Augusta, then trying to come back and help your team win. What was that? What was that like? I
mean, it was a lot of hustle and bustle. It was very hype, but it's a lot. It's a lot. We're doing so many tournaments. It's very much back-to-back. And, but playing Augusta and actually getting to play this year, last year I missed the cut, so I just got to play a practice round there. But this year I made the cut and made it a point. I want to be in contention this year, and I want to do something. And obviously I was coming off a good stretch of tournaments, so it felt really good to actually compete at Augusta and walk the fairways and see what it's like. And to be in contention and win.
Did you see the azaleas blooming?
I did. I did. It was pretty surreal to actually see it in person and play the course. And
the birds are fake, right? It's just a TV deal. There's not actually.
I don't know. I didn't really see any birds.
You're
out there.
Dialed. You're focused.
I was expecting birds.
I was locked in.
It's obvious, but hey. I got you.
Yeah. Obviously, you've been doing this for a really long time, since you were little. How have you learned to handle the hype and what comes with being so great at what you do?
I think you just have to learn how to take it in. I mean, being good and trying to be the best, that comes with it. The attention, it comes with that. So you just kind of have to take it. I mean, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to put my head down and play some golf. But it's nice that people pay attention to you and want to see your game and watch your game. So it's always good at the end of the day.
We're chatting with Amari Avery of the USC women's golf team. I thought you said college has changed my perspective on golf.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I think it means that golf is such an individual sport. You're so independent. You do everything for yourself. But when you come to college and you're finally a part of a team, it's not about you anymore. You kind of realize that I'm really doing this all for the team. Like, what can I do to best help the team? It's not what can I do to best help myself anymore. And obviously, it's an individual sport, so you need to do the best you can by yourself, but that ultimately helps your team. So it kind of just changes the way you look at things, and it's not about how, obviously I want to win individually. We still win for an individual title, but I always want the team win. That's our ultimate end goal for each tournament, is to win as a team.
It's well documented. You started early age. You got out there playing successful golf. Who did you watch growing up? Who did you emulate? Who did you follow to show you the success it takes to get to where you're at?
Yeah. In golf, one of my main idols was Tiger Woods, of course. Especially Michelle Wie too. She was a Nike athlete. She was someone I really wanted to embody on the course, and she had a lot of hype around her, and that's kind of what I wanted. And she was obviously a great player as well. And even outside of golf, Serena and Venus Williams were major impacts on my life, and my dad used them as inspirations for the both of us to develop my game and be the best that I could.
You have so many things in common with Tiger Woods. It's crazy. You're even born. You had the same birth date. Have you met him before? What's the dynamic like?
No, I've never met him, and it's a bum. But I'm sure he's heard about me, or at least I hope he's heard about me. And I think I will meet him at some point someday.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
Yes, cross my fingers.
Yeah.
How did all this start? When did you first pick up a club? When did it become like, hey, we got something here, and let's go all in?
Well, I mean, I started playing golf when I was 3. My dad got into it, and
there's another comparable right there to the old Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger inspired my dad, and we just been kind of following in his footsteps a little bit, and Earl Woods' footsteps. But
does your dad have a golf background at all?
He really doesn't. No, I think Tiger was just kind of his main inspiration. It was just kind of like a little side hobby for him. But when he had me and my little sister, he was like, these girls might be good at this, so let's stick with it. So
you mentioned being homeschooled, and now you're in this college environment a little bit. Like, how much of a difference is that? Like walking into a full class of people, 130 people in a lecture hall. What is that like when you're, you've been at home by yourself for the majority of your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge difference. It's really it's almost a culture shock for me. I came here, I figured out my class schedule, and I mean, you can find it in a few articles, but I cried to one of my teammates on the phone. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like
I cried the first day I was here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, do I dress up? Like, do I? And it was a big lecture, but I didn't know that. So I was like, I just don't know what to do. And she's like, just go and see what happens, and you'll be fine. And I went, and I actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was a big deal for me. I put out my first day outfit and the whole nine.
Oh,
It was a big first day of college.
Were you the classic freshman football player wearing head to toe team issued gear?
No. I was
Imagine.
undercover. I was like
The
Clark Kent with
lanyard.
the like, glasses on.
I'm just a normal person in this setup, and I was also nervous for college, so
Yeah.
it happens.
I think
to
it's pretty
everyone.
normal.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. You talked about the team mentality that you've learned since coming to college. What's been the biggest learning curve or lesson you've gotten from being in a team environment?
I think just about being patient. Obviously, we have a good group of girls here, and it's very competitive. All of us are very competitive, and we all want to be number one in the lineup when we play. And you just kind of have to learn acceptance, and that, you never know who's going to do what on the course. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to make the lineup, and we want the best team that we can have at each tournament. And if you don't make the lineup, then, just kind of put your head down and work harder. But I've been lucky to make the lineup every single time, so I'm trying to keep that going, but it also is pretty tiring, but I love it.
Because of how good you are, I'm sure the decision of going pro or going college was at least, discussed and entertained. How did you ultimately arrive at the fact that, hey, USC is the best spot for me in my next step?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big stepping stone, choosing to go to college over turning pro. Me and my dad and my family talked about it for years, since I was probably 15, about whether or not I should turn pro, because in women's golf, it's not the same as men's golf. We can turn pro at 15 and still compete.
Wow.
Men's golf, it's completely different. So the fact that I could compete with them was, it was always in the cards. And going pro, I was going to turn pro up until about a couple months ago. But COVID hit, and it just kind of we took a step back, and we just kind of reevaluated what is in my future for the next couple years, and what will benefit me the most. And coming to school, I think we just kind of came to a conclusion that it was a better decision, and USC was always my top school. So I decided, I'm going to come here. They have one of the best women's golf programs in the history of women's golf, and we have some of the best coaches in the country, so I might as well go there and, get my ranking up. I always make a joke about it, but my ranking was about 200 in the world before I came here, and I was like, I don't really want to turn pro at 200 in the world on amateur rankings, just for my ego. And so I came here, and I was like, I'm going to get my ranking up as much as I can and try and get to number one. And right now I'm at 23. So I'm doing pretty good. I think we're going to keep it going here.
Quick ascension, Max.
There we go.